going on, YouTube? What I have for you guys today, I will be putting some decals on my, or making actually, and putting some decals on my hood right here. I don't know if you guys have seen the original ones. They're about a foot long, in red with red 5.3 with either black or silver. So we'll be making some for my truck using the Silhouette Cameo. If you guys watched any of my other videos, you guys kind of see how I go about making my stickers at home. For you guys that are new, go ahead and check out my playlist for making decals at home using the Silhouette Cameo. It's not cheap, but it's an inexpensive way versus, you know, going to stores or the decal shops. So let's go to the computer. I'm gonna design and show you guys the ones I already have, but I want to make some custom ones just because I have the shocker yellow on the suspension for this thing. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright guys, so this is more or less the ones that are on my Etsy page. They're just over 11.5 inches by 1 inch. Let me make sure. Yeah, just under 11 3/4. But on my truck, I want to go with, this is the black with red, and this is the silver with red. You guys are welcome to swing by my Etsy page, pick one up. I got them for $9.99 a pair, so that's shipping included. Alright, so let's get back to it. I want something similar to like the shocker yellow. I obviously don't have shocker yellow paint. The closest I have is the lime green, being this one right here. However, I'm gonna, you know, go with a custom look on it. So I'm gonna play with the computer right now and get a couple different designs going, see if I like one better than the other, and let's get to it. Alright, so this is how I have my setup right here for when I print those out, or copy or cut those, I mean. But what I'll be doing is making my own. I have this set up right here, that way in case somebody ever custom orders me like a special color, you know, they'll have these right on hand, so I just copy, you know, and then duplicate, bring them over here, and then just cut them right away. Now I always like to leave those alone. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab these right here, duplicate these, and I'll mess with these as my originals. So let me ungroup them. Okay, so now I'm able to change the color first and foremost. So let me change the color on these to a lime green, and I'm gonna bring these down just a hair. This I'm gonna offset. Alright, so let me offset these. I'm gonna go with the thinner offset than that, probably like let me try like a 0.5 or 0.05. Alright, and let me do it lime green. Alright, that's how that looks. Now remember, take off the red lines here, and that's how it looks. Let me change this to black. Sorry, I have to highlight this one right here. Black, black. Alright. We have a box made right here. Black. Send it to the back. But however, my truck's not black, so it's like a dark gray. So I'm gonna change it up, something like that. So that kind of gives you more of a like that right there. That gives you a better look at the final result. Okay. I was kind of having an idea on like, for instance, this one's right here, offsetting them with the black. So let's see how that would look. And I literally meant like the whole thing, including the red. Let's offset this in black. And I wanted to go with that. Let's try 0.06. And let's put it in black. So that looks kind of cool. I like that. Let me make sure that the lines are gone. So it's my ultimate options right there. Let me change this one over also. My other option on this was going with a silver. Keep doing that. It's kind of like that color right there. But with a black offset. So one thing we can do to that we have to do any of this, just move the whole letter. See how this is like 5 different pieces. We'll just group this, and the same thing with this. Just group it, make both of these black. Now to center this back in without you having to kind of sit there and eyeball. Easiest way I've always found is highlight both of them. Go up here, a line in the middle and a line in the center. That puts it usually right dead center. So line center, line middle, and that's it. All right. So now that we have that, believe it or not, I kind of like this one the most. Let me highlight this in black offset also. It was 0.06. Alright, it was black. And we are removing the red. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this one better, even though I wanted it in green. But let me see what. This is a hard part always. So let me do this one. Offset. Oh, sorry. Okay. And I wanted it in black. Then remove the lines. That one doesn't look bad. This one's my all-time, my favorite right now. But the whole point was to tie in the green, you know, so that's why I'm kind of like, I'm stuck. The good thing about them is that they're small decals. I can remove them anytime and just swap them out for different ones. So it's not a big deal. Yeah, I just don't like this. This doesn't really stand out to me too much. But then again, I mean, it might look kind of cool in the truck. I really don't know. That's why it helps out a little bit more to have a background like this that matches the color of the car that you're putting these on. So I'm gonna with these. Just gonna chance it. If I don't like them, I will redo them. You guys will find out through my Instagram. So I'm gonna group this. You know what? Let me just duplicate it. Bring this over. I'm gonna have to make these just a hair smaller, just because I had already had them right on the edge of the cut lines. So then with the offset, it kind of, if you guys can see, it brought them out just a little bit on each direction. So I'm gonna shrink it just by hair. Let's do this. Just a little bit more. Yeah, we're good right there. And then also, you know what, I'm going to go down just a hair on the height too. Just because that offset adds, you know, it's not that big, but it adds an extra length to the decal. All right, so that's my final rendering of this decals. So the next thing I will do is add my registration marks. They're invisible right now. I have highlighted on this one to put it on red. Duplicate. Group. You know what? No, let me line them at the top first. That way they're even. Duplicate. Duplicate. Alright, so this is my lime green. Okay, so I gotta group these. Sorry. Group. 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 So this is my lime green. This is the black. And this is the red. 3 colors. So let's align these at the bottom and to the right. Now perfectly leveled. So now, you guys notice one really important thing. The black on this side is sitting on top of the green, and the black on this side is sitting behind the red. So you always have to take in consideration that you can't just, as soon as you have all 3 pieces cut, don't just start putting together without giving it the process of thought. This has to be the very top, the very first piece that you lay down against the transfer paper, I'm sorry. So this has to be your very high vinyl. In between has to sit the black, and then at the very end goes the green. That way you ultimately end up with this. If you accidentally put the red over the green and then over the black, you'll never see the black on this side. You'll have a green, a vortex right here. And then the black will sit behind it, which you won't see it. So you have to always kind of don't rush things, because I have ruined decals doing that. And that's how I learn, learn by your mistakes. So always, whenever you're doing 3 colors and up, always think about that first. So now we are going to run on the machine, put on advanced, fill color. thing always picks up, I think, all the colors that are in the actual page rather than just the cutting mat. Alright, so our red is highlighted up there. Always make sure you look before you cut. Make sure that you don't have anything on the rest of this grid, because I have ruined a lot of material by doing something like this. Leaving this down here earlier in the session, and then I start doing all my modifications. I put the decal up here. I send a cut. Before I know it, this thing moves way the heck down here and cuts this also. So then I gotta waste that extra foot. I think I've done it as much as 2.5 feet on a bigger decal. So that's just a quick little tip how not to do that. So always check, make sure this area is clear before you send it in. Alright, so let me load the machine and cut the red. Alright, so it's ready. Let's make sure this is set to vinyl. Yep. Send. Alright, so we just got done cutting the red. Let's change this over to the green. Green, 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 we're good. Alright guys, so I just got done cutting the green. So let's cut the black. Okay. Alright guys, so I got my 3 layers of color right here, of vinyl. I'm not gonna spend the time recording watching me weed these. Let me weed these first and then we'll start this back up. Alright guys, so I got all 3 pieces weeded. They're right here. And then I also cut a small piece of the transfer paper. So let me show you guys step by step on how to do this. So remember, we're going over the red first. Okay, now we're gonna get our squeegee and make sure we get both of these, or get all of this evenly. At this point, we're good to cut off the excess. I'll use my tape. It's just a lot easier to use a ruler. Alright, so now the next step is folding this over. There we go. You want to cut off, be careful not to cut the decal out because sometimes you get really close to it. There you go. That's what you want. You want to be able to see all around the square, or the rectangle in this case. So then now we are going over the black. Oh, I forgot to weed these real quick. Alright, so we're going over the black. So just kind of keep an eye on them. Make sure. I like to put a ruler right over the paper. That way it's right on. It keeps those rectangles flat. There we go. Now make sure you go over this with your squeegee before. You could either peel this off a little bit at a time, or if you have help, just have somebody hold it straight up and peel off the whole piece at once and then bring it down. So I'll do one and one. I'll do this one a little bit at a time. So I'll peel that off like that. I like to go down like this. Just like that. There you go. Let's cut those off one more time. Okay, just make sure you can still see the rectangles. Don't worry if you don't get them perfectly even either. Sometimes it just gives it a slightly off effect, but it doesn't ruin the decal. Alright, so now see how this paper is kind of folding over like that? So that's why I use a ruler like that. There you go. Now that it's on there, make sure we squeegee these real good. Alright. See how I did that a little bit on the kind of went over the, it made like a little kink, just went backwards, cleaned it back up. Now there's a little bit of a bubble on this side. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go over this a few times and get out the air. Okay. So now we're good. There it is. There you have it. And we are done. You have your 2 decals made. Now that we got them ready, let's go outside and see if we can put them on. Alright guys, so here we have the 3 decals. Since this is like a dark gray, I would technically use these right here, because the black ones kind of would disappear if I take off, you know, right now you can see it because you see the white background, but if you were to remove that, yeah, you really wouldn't be able to tell. That's the reason why I made these right here with the green little offset. So let's see if it looks good. Alright guys, so the first thing we're gonna do is clean the area pretty decently. I just washed the truck, so it should be good. Then the next thing we're gonna do is take the decal, kind of eyeball where we want it. Thinking I'm gonna get it about 1.5 inches from the end to here. Yeah, I think 1.5 inches. Alright, so the next thing I'm gonna do is grab a little bit of tape, and I'm just gonna put it on right at 1.5 inches. from there. So it gives me a generic idea on where I want this decal put. So then I'm going to pull this out. Want to make sure you, before you peel this off, you want to always make sure you go over the vinyl once more, because sometimes it'll get stuck like it just did on me right now. See, now that I retouched it, it comes right off. Alright. So now I know I'm at 1.5 inches. Now I just want to eyeball it and make sure that it looks like it's pretty level. That looks good. Literally, I'm a hair from touching the tape. Do it from this side, that way you guys can see a better view of that. See how sometimes it'll want to come back up? Just go ahead and push it down. It all depends on what transfer paper you get also. I have the other one on there that's less sticky, but it's not transparent, so I like to use a transparent one for like a lot of the decals that you're gonna be selling. And there it is. It's done. Let's move on to the other side. Alright, so now we're up here. Let's clean this area up. Let's grab it. I'll use the same little piece of tape. 1.5 inches. It's right here. Okay. All right, and let's do it at the 5. Right there. And there it is, guys. If you guys aren't into making your own decals and you want to purchase these on my Etsy store, the link is below on the description, and that's exactly how you'll be installing it, exactly like that. Alright guys, I hope that wasn't too long of a video, kind of helpful for you guys. Something like that. I mean, literally it takes me a few minutes to make, especially once I've already had the design put in my computer. If you guys want to learn how to make more custom decals, go into my playlist on my channel for making decals at home, and all links are posted underneath on the description section for you to get all the material, the cutter, and learn this stuff on your own, and have fun doing it. I mean, it's real easy. So I hope you guys like it. Alright guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. More videos on the way, both on decals and on DIY when it comes to trucks and small engines. So keep posted. Thank you for watching.